Welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. The show is designed to give you solutions to your day-to-day management and leadership problems. It's hosted by Matthew Haddock, a frontline manager and leader with over 25 years of experience. If you're ready, then let's get on with the show.
Hi and welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. This show is to help you lead your team like you always wanted to, with practical help and advice which will improve your management skills and get you the results you want. Make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the show so you'll never miss an episode and share it with anyone else who you think might enjoy it. Well, without any more delays, let's get on with this week's show. Hi, as we come to the end of the year, I thought it would be a good idea to reflect on my top 10 downloaded shows from the Manager Matt podcast. Now, 2022 has been an interesting year for all of us, I'm sure. But I'm sure if you're listening to the show regularly, there's a number of takeaways that you get every week by listening. And I think it would be interesting to go through and look at them. Now, we're not talking about rerunning the casts. You can obviously go back and listen to them in full. But I wanted to comment on why it resonated with so many people who took the time to download, and how those managers and leaders have taken the information I've given them and hopefully used it. But first, let's go through the top 10 in some sort of pop-style order. So, hi Manager Matt pop pickers. Let's see this year's most listened to show. So, coming in at number 10, The Art of Better Meetings. Number 9, Can You Actually Be Ill at Work Anymore? 8, The Value of Enterprise Spirit. Number 7, Work Throws You a Curveball. What to do? And number 6, The Art of Recharging Yourself. Followed shortly by number 5, The Peter Principle and How to Motivate Your Team. Coming in at number 4, well, not again, it's Groundhog Day. And in at 3, Can You Handle the Conflict at Work? Well, can you? Number 2, Lucky in Management, well, lucky old people. And at number 1, How Not to Use Communications to Your Team. A varied bag there. Now, the thousands of downloads, and as you can see, I've tried to kind of get the top 10 and then look at how we can group them together. Now, I've done a simple grouping, and I've just gone for 3 groups I thought resonated quite heavily when I went through the top 10. They're not in any particular order, but you have personal development, life coaching, that kind of part of it. There's team building and leadership skills. Then there's the last piece, which is like developing and your career and preparing for change. So what does that tell us about you, the listener? Well, no surprises. You want to develop yourself and use your coaching skills to make sure you don't burn out. You also know that you want to lead a successful team and make them better and deliver results. And you want to have a solid, enjoyable career. But you're also prepared to change direction. You know that you are scanning the horizon and looking for new ideas. So what I want to do is I want to go through each one of those top 10, break them down and just take some takeaways from each of them. So let's start. So number 10, The Art of Better Meetings. So this is around a leading skill. How do you lead your team better? Now, we spend so long in meetings, as you know. I mean, in my day, sometimes it can be up to 90% of my time is spent in meetings. So you want to know how to do them better, do them well. And the first of those top takeaways I can give you from the episode was, don't go to meetings. I know, sounds strange, but don't go to the meetings you don't need to go to. The second point I thought, a takeaway, was start and finish on time. It's amazing how many of those meetings don't start and finish on time. And of course, the old-fashioned one right at the end is make sure that the meeting delivers some sort of decision or action. So that's number 10, The Art of Better Meetings. Coming at 9, Can You Really Be Ill at Work Anymore? Now, this is around a personal skill, a personal development learning skill for me. And this is around the amount of connectivity that the world has. It's amazing how much we can connect. I mean, now, talking to you, wherever you are in the world, you're listening to a podcast made in Bradford, in West Yorkshire, and you're now listening to it. So the connectivity is amazing. And working from home, away from the office or wherever, has become norm, which is great. But illness seems not to be allowed. So unless you're unconscious, there seems to be a fact that you have to still be working. So my top takeaway is, no surprise, if you're ill, be ill. Rest and get better. The work will and can manage without you. If not, then you're doing something wrong, because you need to be able to have time away when you're either on a meeting yourself, as in a conference, but actually if you're ill. And the last point is, don't go back too early, or don't go back when you're feeling ill. Nobody else wants your cold, flu, or whatever you've got. So that's number 9. Can you be ill at work anymore? And number 8, the value of the enterprising spirit. So the enterprising spirit. And this is around team. It's looking at the values. How do we live them at work? Not just the values on the door as you walk through the office, but can you actually live those values? And the top takeaway was, how can you build a culture that always has people free to think bold and look future into the future, look towards the future? Not just the day-to-day, but allowing time and rewarding people who have the ideas and think new. So that was around that idea of that enterprising spirit. Number 7, work throws you a curveball. Now this was around careers. You never know when you might be let go. Rhymes a bit, doesn't it? So always have a plan B and be ready. So the top takeaway, have your CV up to date and ready. Scan your horizon, think ahead. And do you have your contacts and your network? And also, last bit was around sort of a personal finance thing, is always have a bit of a war chest in case things go wrong. Very difficult with the pressures of spending and life, but try to keep some money in reserve. You may need it. So that was number 7. Now, at number 6, the art of recharging yourself. So this was around personal skills and life coaching. You know, we're all humans and we're not machines. You need to take time to recharge and rest. You can't be at your best when your batteries are flat. So the top takeaway, the basics, get the basics right. Sleep the right amount of time. Eat well. Know your energy level. So when are you best? When are you most productive in the day? So use that time well. Have breaks and know when to stop working. Knowledge workers basically could keep going forever and ever. But don't. Walk away and make sure that you have that stop wherever that is in your day. So that was number 6, the art of recharging. Well, hi, if you're still listening and enjoying the show, please take the time to rate it wherever you get your podcasts from. In that way, we can help others find and hopefully improve their leadership show. Well, okay, let's go back to this week's show. Right, at number 5, the Peter Principle and how to motivate your team. Now, this is around careers and motivation in a way. This is the idea that people are promoted to where their level of incompetence is. So how do you motivate? How do you motivate? Well, you don't motivate. How do you motivate away from the normal pay motivators and others that you'd seen? And when people plateau, how do we keep them at work and working well? So the top takeaway is to, there isn't one size doesn't fit all. So you don't have one blanket way of motivating people. It's not a problem. If some people want to stay at a certain level and they're delivering the results and they want to be part of the team, not a problem. But look at an alternative to engage talent. So however that may be, and that comes back to the idea of knowing your people, knowing what makes them tick and motivating them. In number 4, it's Groundhog Day. I said in number 4, it's Groundhog Day. Used that joke before, sorry guys. Personal development this is around. So, how do we not become in a rut, and how do we stop getting stuck in that rut if we know we're there? And the top takeaway was, have the courage to change and to start things that you want to start, especially when it comes to a new year. I know it's a bit cliched, but is there something that you really want to start doing? And it's a great idea to get on with it and get started. And don't put it off, because if you get stuck in a rut, it can easy to become over and over in that same rut over and over again and creates a Groundhog Day. So don't have the fear. Try to do something different. Even if it's small changes, make those changes. Number 3, how to handle conflicts at work. This is around the team. We all should, if we're leaders, have team. And even if we're on our own, we're leading people around us. So everyone, we get at work, we don't have to get on with all of them. There is time to time conflict will happen at home and obviously at work. So don't fear it. The top takeaway is to foster a passion at work. So set the bar high yourself. Care about your work and the people, and make sure you have a fun relationship that you build with your team to make sure that they know that you can have conflict at the right level and that people will work well for people if they know them deep down. So the idea of handling conflict is to know your people, get to know what makes them tick, allow them to be able to grow, but allow them to have a safe space to be able to challenge without it turning into a full-blown row. Number 2, luck in management. This is around career development. And the idea in this cast was around, are we just lucky when we get promoted? Is the ladder of success only for the lucky few? And the top takeaway from this was, life is full of turns, and sometimes squiggles, if you like. Hard work is one part of it. Working smarter, not harder, that's another. Luck and choices go hand in hand in my world. You might not affect the cards you're dealt, but you can know how to play the game well. So that was around luck in management. And the last one, the top downloaded cast of 2022, was how to not use communications in your team. Again, around the team building part. Communication is always called out as being a problem at work. We don't communicate enough, or we're using the wrong channels. So the top takeaway from that cast was, don't use emails for every communication. Don't use the carpet bombing approach when you're giving information as a boss. Be direct to your people and make sure that you are laser focused and get the right message across. Speak to people face to face, use your one-to-one as strong as you can, and make sure that you're communicating the message to the right people at the right time. So there we are. There's a review of the top takeaways from the top shows of 2022. And again, thank you so much for downloading, and I can't wait for 2023. Well, thanks for listening, and as always, I'm really keen to hear your thoughts on the show, both good, bad, so please send your feedback, as it's a gift, to managermattpodcast@gmail.com. Answer all the emails myself, and would love to engage on new topics or revisit old ones. One more thing, whatever you've learned today, make sure you put it into action. Right, well, that's it for Manager Matt this week. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening to this Manager Matt podcast. We hope you found it interesting, helpful and actionable. One last thing, please leave a quick review on iTunes or with your podcast provider, as it helps to spread the word of Manager Matt. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the podcast, and if you did like anything in particular, send an email to managermattpodcast@gmail.com or visit managermatt.co.uk for more content. Feedback is a gift, so let's keep giving. See you next week.